Hello there, everybody. Nancy and her friends have just found Dirk Valentine's secret treasure. Unfortunately, a bad person has also found Nancy and her friends. I knew the necklace existed, Suzanne LeMere smiles. I've been researching it for years. I just couldn't find out where Dirk had hidden it. Luckily, I had a hunch our resident detective would figure it out, so I followed you. And as usual, my intuition proved to be spot on. That's the real reason you came to Shadow Ranch, isn't it? To try to find it? Nancy summarizes. And find it I did. Now if you would kindly put it back in the pouch and carefully toss it over here to me, I'll put the board back and we can all live happily ever after. Forget it, retorts Bess indignantly. We're not giving you a darn thing. Except maybe a right hook to the jaw, scowls George. Steady now, Dave says to George. He turns to Suzanne. I'd think real careful about what you're trying to do now. Already did, Suzanne says smugly, and so far my plan's working out just fine. During this exchange, Nancy's attention is caught by something she sees through the tiny window behind Suzanne. Far below, a saddled black and white pinto horse is galloping away. We're giving this necklace to Aunt Bet and Uncle Ed, Bess declares. They need it and deserve it a lot more than you do. A whole lot more than you do. Suzanne folds her arms and smiles maliciously. You don't have a choice. You left your food and water with your horses, didn't you? So give me the necklace or I leave you here. It's as simple as that. The cousins look at each other helplessly, then turn to Nancy, who addresses Suzanne calmly. I'll give you the necklace once the four of us are safely across that board. Nancy, no! George exclaims with chagrin. You have my word. The two cousins groan with disappointment. Suzanne regards Nancy warily. I don't want your word. I want the necklace. Oh, you'll get the necklace, snaps Bess bitterly. When Nancy Drew says she's going to do something, she does it, no matter what. Reassured by what she sees in their faces, Suzanne finally pushes the plank back into place. Only when Bess, George, and Dave are safely across does Nancy follow. She hands Suzanne the pouch. Thank you, the woman smiles. Trustworthy people are so hard to find these days. You should know, grumbles Bess. George hisses in Nancy's ear. Come on, Nan. It's 3 girls against 1. Let's take her! So what do? Do you wrestle the necklace away from Suzanne? Or do you let her keep the necklace? If you try to take it away from her, it's a game over sequence, so let's just go through that very quickly. Suzanne shrieks, the girls steal the necklace. Oh, I'm sorry, Suzanne whispers. That was terrible of me. I just wanted it so badly. I'm sorry. So she is very meek and humble as the girls lead her all the way down to the cliff, and her horse is gone. Her horse was the horse that ran away. He ran away, Nancy says. You probably didn't tie him to a big enough tree. Guess I'm just getting what I deserve. She starts to walk away. She looks very sad. Alright, so Nancy is generous and says, you can ride back with me. Okay, so they return to the ranch. Then Suzanne changes. You won't get away with this, she screams. I'm calling the authorities right now. Sure enough, after taking care of their horses, the entire ranch is there along with the sheriff. Suzanne says that she found the necklace and the girls stole it from her. Stunned, the girls deny Suzanne's accusations, but she's sort of scraped up and disheveled because we beat her up, so the sheriff decides to believe her. She starts to threaten legal action, and Uncle Ed says, I'm sorry, but even though I don't believe a word she's saying, a lawsuit could bankrupt us. We just can't risk it. And he gives the necklace to Suzanne. Thank you, she says out loud, her voice thick with gratitude. Then she turns to Nancy. But mostly, thank you, sucker. Bess takes Nancy by the arm, scowling at Suzanne. Never mind her, she says. Let's do something fun to get our mind off of this mess. Alright, second chance. Second chance. Ooh, we have to go through this entire scene again. Well, second chance. Let her keep the necklace. No, Nancy whispers to George. Trust me. The five clamber back down the stone stairway and head for their horses, which are tied to the trees where they left them. As they mount up, Suzanne looks around with confusion. Where's my horse? The Pinto? That must have been the horse I saw from the window up there, Nancy relates. He was galloping away so fast, he's probably halfway back to the ranch by now. You must not have tied him to a big enough tree. Nancy turns towards her friends. Come on, you guys, let's go home. Realizing this was Nancy's ploy all along, the three grin and follow suit. See you back at the ranch, Suzanne, Bess waves merrily. If you can find your way, that is, George adds. And if you don't get heat stroke, or bit by a rattlesnake. Or stung by a scorpion. At least I don't see any fire ants here, George says. Except for that mound there, Dave points. Ooh, and that one there. The four start trotting away. Suddenly panic-stricken, Suzanne calls after them. No! Wait! Wait! They stop as she rushes up to them. Please don't leave me out here. Well, you could ride double with me, Nancy considers. No, Nancy, Bess sounds vehement. She was willing to leave us stranded. I say we do the same thing to her. Ditto, George chimes in. Suzanne looks to Dave, who gives her a shrug. Fair's fair. She looks at the pouch in her hand and, with a sigh of resignation, marches over to Bess. Here, she says, grudgingly slapping the pouch into Bess's hand. My horoscope warned me to stay away from high places today. Now I know why. Nancy takes the pouch from Bess and hands it to Dave. I believe this belongs to you. Well, George asks, what are you going to do with it? Dave pulls out the necklace and considers it for a long moment. It's worth some real money, I bet, Dave says finally. Bess lets out a frustrated sigh. I can see where this is going. But, Dave continues, that's never why I wanted it. This belongs to Frances. And since I can't give it to her, I think it belongs at Shadow Ranch. You'd do that? Bess asks. Course, Dave says. Money ain't worth grabbing too hard for. Right and a wrong, that's another deal. Sure, Dirk was a bad guy and he got enough. And he sure enough got his, but Frances, she deserved way better than she got. That's so sweet, Bess gushes. I never pegged you. I never had you pegged as sentimental. Truth is, I ain't, Dave says, rubbing his chest absent-mindedly. I'm just on the side of doing right by people like Frances. Sort of a mission of mine. With that, Dave pockets the necklace and heads back to his horse. Bess gives Nancy a confused look, while Nancy responds with a shrug. When the foursome gets back to the ranch, Dave presents Dirk's treasure to Aunt Bet. Tears well up in her eyes as she holds the gleaming necklace up to the light. What's wrong, Aunt Bet? George asks. Nothing, she gulps. Nothing. In fact, this is the best thing that's happened in a dog's age. Thank you, Dave, and thank you too, girls. Dave nods and tips his hat. We wanted to find gold or something like that, Bess says. We were hoping to bring back enough money to save the ranch. The tears return to Aunt Bet's eyes. Now that's sweet, Bess, but we're just going through a rough patch. She looks at the necklace again. And this isn't just a necklace. This is Frances Humber's necklace. It's better than money. It is? Bess asks, looking at the old necklace suspiciously. I'm not seeing it. It is. People can't get enough of Dirk Valentine, and when they hear there's more to the story, they'll be back to see it themselves. Aunt Bet smiles warmly at Dave and the girls. You four just brought the Dirk Valentine story back to life, and Shadow Ranch along with it. Quickly, Aunt Bet's expression darkens. Although we best keep this to ourselves until we're sure we're ready for the business. What do you mean? George asks. Can't exactly bring people in only to have them get scared off, Aunt Bet says quietly. You know, Dave says, I'm pretty sick and tired of hearing about this ghost horse. It's time to put a stop to it. But how? Nancy asks. Got me a feeling that if anything could bring that horse out, it'd be that necklace. So the horse, Bess begins, coming tonight. Bet my life. And in the next video, Dave and Nancy will try to chase down the phantom horse.